Hey, it's me, Angel. I'm here to talk about gay prom. Sorry for the lighting. My computer's not the greatest, but it is what it is. So, many of you know that an individual by the name of Elizabeth Johnston, activist mommy, has been going on anti-LGBT rampages across the country, and she's built quite a platform, quite impressive, over 600,000 followers on Facebook, and a website that is hosted by GoDaddy.com. So this is very concerning, and it's very reminiscent of Anita Bryant and her Save Our Children crusade, where they vilified gay people as these horrible monsters that you should be afraid of. And nonetheless, those types of campaigns really are successful. It starts out with these zealots, and then it turns into ordinances, and then it leads to hate crimes. So it's very important that people like Elizabeth Johnston are stopped. You know, a lot of people want to talk about, oh, free speech, but free speech doesn't protect you from Facebook, and it doesn't protect you from GoDaddy.com or any other enterprise. It only protects you from the government. So, as far as I'm concerned, she has no right to say her hate speech online. And it's not just words; it's actually dangerous. If it was just words, I wouldn't care. But she's had an actual impact, and an example of that impact can be found in Jacksonville, Florida, a pretty conservative town. I have a lot of great activist friends that have told me some horror stories about it, and they were going to have a gay prom, and the event had to be relocated because of activist mommy's threats and her sicking these extreme Christian right-wing hate mongers onto the public that they actually canceled the event or rescheduled or whatever the case may be. Any of it isn't acceptable, and we can't live in a world where we are thinking about possibly going back into the closet for our own safety. So I want to talk about what gay prom could have meant to me. And this is going to be somewhat of a lengthy video, but I am going to ask you if you are gay, bi, trans, lesbian, any type of queer at all, if you could share a video expressing what gay prom would have meant to you at that time, if it would have been around, or if it was around when you were in high school, express what it meant to you. Um, really at the end of the day, prom isn't the end of the world, but in high school land, things like prom really do matter. And we really have to think about it that way. LGBTQ people are still at a higher risk of suicide to this day. And I have to tell you, when I was in high school, I finished in 2006, there was no Pose, there was no RuPaul's Drag Race, there wasn't support groups on Facebook, there wasn't Facebook for most of it. But we tried to get a gay straight alliance in my high school, and it was turned down. It was the first petition I ever signed. Hard to believe. I was 14 years old, and I wanted that sanctuary. And at the time, I wasn't out. I was afraid to be out. I was afraid to really be associated with gays. So I remember being afraid to even sign that petition and thinking in my head, even if we got a gay straight alliance, I probably wouldn't go because I don't want people to know that I'd be associated with that. And I didn't hang out with other gay people or anyone trans because being associated with them would mean I was definitely gay. And that was something to be ashamed of when I grew up. We were taught to be ashamed of it. And it's not because I had parents that were anti gay, but I didn't have parents that were particularly pro gay. And there was no pro gay material in my life, really, even media at the time. I mean, it was still pretty hush hush. Any type of gay love or any type of topic dealing with transgender people was usually a plot device, scandalous, tragic, and it was put into R-rated films or TVMA. It wasn't something you could see. Now you have Arthur and you have a gay teacher or whatever, a gay wedding, whatever happened. Something like that was not imaginable to me in high school, but it would have been very helpful to me to see someone who loves like me and is attracted to people the way I am represented. And I can only imagine for our transgender youth at that time what it would have been like to have some kind of representation in the media that was positive. It doesn't always have to be tragic. Yes, the tragedies have to be told, the Matthew Shepards and these stories out there have to be told, but that can't be all we hear is how awful and terrible we are and how all we need is Jesus. Anyway, I'm trailing off, but when I was in high school, I mean, I was a fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I remember for a majority of the show had penetrating hearts and decapitation and witches casting spells on people that would like turn them into rats and all these things that we would consider violent. And all that was allowed to be shown on the WB network, but Willow and Tara, two lesbians, couldn't kiss on screen. Not make out. They just couldn't kiss. And I remember how demoralizing that was. Like, are we really this disgusting? Are we really that awful? And you do internalize that. And that's true with anybody that's marginalized in society or othered by society. We see it with people. You feel disgusting and you feel like you can't be, you can't love who you are. And that's such a horrible and daunting feeling. And I know so many youth that were gay when I was growing up that had contemplated or completed suicide. And it's still happening now. And we have things like the Trevor Project and the Trans Lifeline, things that I don't think were around. They were, I didn't know about them. So all that point being, we didn't have a lot of representation. My school district at the time actually prohibited same-sex couples from dancing together at prom. Whether or not some people did it anyway, I don't know. It probably depended on the school you were at and the environment you were in if you could get away with it. But for the most part, it was banned, and the school denied any type of GSA or anything like that. I think that having a gay prom would have been very helpful to my mental health, even if I didn't go, even if I didn't have a date, or if I didn't go, just knowing that I would have had an option to go and be open. Ideally, we want to live in a world where there doesn't have to be a gay prom and that gay people and trans people can feel safe being their full selves amongst, the dominant society. But we're not in that society yet, and I don't ever pretend. So we have a long, long way. We've come a long way, but we have a long way to go. And it looks like we're starting to go backwards in a lot of ways with Black transgender women at risk left and right, if not fatal, at least dangerous. Living in fear. I mean, gay men, the violence against gay men has gone up dramatically in the last few years. It's not quite to the level it was in 1997, but it's still pretty high. And this is just what's reported. So you can only imagine what goes unreported. So an idea of a gay prom where we can love each other in a way that other teenagers love on each other. When boy-girl couples go to prom, it's this big deal and these pictures and limos and all the support they get. And to think that in 2006, if I had done something like that, it would have been controversial. It would have been a problem. That wasn't that long ago. I mean, yeah, I know I'm 30 now. I know it doesn't look it. Shocking, but that would have made a huge difference into my psyche at the time. And having gay representation that's in a positive way and saying, hey, it's okay that you're a boy that loves another boy, a girl that loves another girl, or you're someone who's off the binary, or you're trans, whatever it is. I'm not asking for full-on cultural competency. I don't even care if straight people understand. I don't even care about straight people's support. Honestly, just a place where gay people can be together and be gay and be open, and whether you're masculine or feminine or in between or what. A gay prom could have made a big difference in my life, and I imagine that it can make a big difference in a lot of gay people's lives today. Lesbians, bi people, trans people. I imagine that it could, and I don't know if you've been in the high school level at a gay prom, share your story about how helpful it is. So that way, the type of hate that activist mommy is putting out there is not validated. Gay prom is not violent, but opposing gay prom is violent because we're at such a risk of self-hatred, alcohol and drug abuse, suicide, all these things that we're at risk at. And that's not inherently because we're gay or trans. It's because of society that tells us we're not worthy. And gay prom is just one small step. It's a very small thing that can probably help a lot of gay, bi, and trans people feel accepted and love themselves even just a little bit more. Nothing is going to be as powerful as support from parents and family and friends. But having areas to go where you can be like your other friends but still be true to your full self without the risk of scrutiny, without holding back, that would be magical and amazing. So we have to stop Elizabeth Johnston. Please sign the petition, bit.ly/endthehate, bit.ly/endthehate. Sign the petition. Do one of these videos and link the petition in the video and share with your friends. And if you're not, if you're not part of the community, if you're a cis hetero, you should do a video about how you would support a gay prom, or how that would have helped a gay, lesbian, or trans person in your life that you love, your child, your friend, your sister, something, and share that petition, sign it, donate money into it to get it more visibility. Whatever we have to do to get Activist Mommy off of GoDaddy.com and off of Facebook, because her message is going to harm us, and we need to stop it before it gets to the point of no return. So thanks for listening, and feel free to share this video. Thanks.